Okay, everyone, we are live. We are live in the I declare I am done doing this alone. Jenny and I have heard this over and over and over again in the last 3 months. Jenny, even probably more than that, but it has been loud and clear to us in the last, couple months that's it. I'm done. I'm done trying to do this business alone. In fact, I'm done doing life alone. We're coming out of that isolation and that old leadership style that feels like we have to have it all figured out and do it. And we're coming into that community, that collaboration, that speaking our truth and really leaning in and trusting the people that are in our world, in our atmosphere, in our inner circle. And so my name is Debbie Prediger. I am the founder of the Be Extraordinary Women's Network. I am also the creator of the Shine Circle. Every one of these people on this stage is part of the Shine Circle. They are all mentors. They bring in their own brilliance. They bring in their own messages. And it's always through the lens of my Shine framework. So I love that. I absolutely love it. Now, I'm going to pass it over to Jenny to share a little bit about her, and then we're going to get this started.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you, and welcome, everybody. We're live again on LinkedIn. And so I definitely, I was looking to the left because I opened up LinkedIn. Someone was asking, where do I see it? But again, squirrel. So I'm Jenny Reyes. I'm one of Debbie Prediger's collaborators, as she shared inside the Shine Circle. One of the things that I do is as the alignment advisor. I mean, I believe the title speaks for itself, where the idea is that we want your life and your business to make sure that it's integrated, it's coherent, it's cohesive, and that we're not trying to be two people at the same time. And that's often what business owners or entrepreneurs and people come to me for, is how do I make sure all the pieces of my puzzle come together so that I am speaking and resonating with the right people and not necessarily compromising myself and my being. So happy to be here, happy to be with the people on our panel as well, and happy to have people who are already saying hello from different parts. I think we're live also on Facebook. Debbie, is that?
Yep. Miko should be sharing it over on Facebook as well and tagging everybody. So there should be 6 or 7 threads in which you can catch us. And so that leads me into the next conversation. If you're here with us live, make a comment, because guess what? This software allows us to see your comments no matter where they're coming in from. And so we just had a comment from Therese saying that she found us over on LinkedIn. Hi, Therese. We love having you as a Shine partner, and of course, sharing that out. So my job right here, my role is to help set the stage and set the intention for today. And so our intention when we created this is, number one, to build a stage where these beautiful mentors and guides and speakers could share their brilliance. That's the first intention. And the second intention is for us to come together and recognize that we need to make a decision. We're just about at the end of the year, and the I declare is on purpose. What are you declaring? What decision are you making? What opportunity is out there that you may have been letting go by you, that it's now time to actually rise and shine? So let me talk a little bit more about intention as I kind of help guide you back into your heart right now. Now we're seeing that the comments coming in here good, so that's great. Thank you for everybody that's joining us. But let's come back into our hearts, because often when we can be scrambling, trying to find a live, or are we in the right place? Did we show up on time? Did we share it out? Sometimes we can have our logical brain tell us a whole bunch of stories. And the truth is that everyone, when they put their hand on their heart and they breathe into this, they know exactly why they're here. They know why they were called to this. They know what their message that they need to hear. So set that intention in your truth, right? In your center, I am exactly where I need to be. I am hearing the perfect message for me today. And there's something that I'm going to take away that I wasn't even aware that I needed. So set that intention for today. And I'm going to hand it back over to Jenny to start with the questions.
Awesome. Well, yes, if you have any intentions, put them in the chat. We'll go back to reading them. But let's get to our panelists. And as Debbie had mentioned, everybody here is a mentor inside the Shine Circle. And mentors are there to help guide and support and celebrate everybody inside the Shine Circle as you join. And we're going to start off with, well, I have a question for everybody, and we'll introduce them one by one. So the first question, of course, along with the theme of I Declare, is, what was the moment you realized you were done doing all of this alone? Because we've said, I declare we're done doing this alone. And how did everything shift after that? So let me introduce you first to Shannon. Shannon is our Love Alchemist mentor. And, Shannon has gone on this journey with us for the past couple of weeks, diving into her theme and her story. And she'll tell you more about that, about finding her deepest love, her greatest love. So Shannon, I'd love to give you the floor. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so honored and excited to be here and connected with everyone, because that's really one of my biggest themes in life. And the reason I really decided to declare I didn't want to do it alone is because I felt in 2020 really disconnected from myself. I was just deeply immersed in my work and my career. And when I came home, I just felt lonely, and I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I like to do, and especially in 2020. And the best thing I ever did was join a coaching group where I was connected to amazing women. And actually, it was one of the best years of my life, and where my most massive transformation took place. And fast forward to basically living the best life that I'll share more at another time about at this moment. But I really wanted to give that back and really serve those out there who really need what I experienced and the tools I learned, and share that fully. And I just didn't want to do it alone in terms of the business part of it. I felt like I'm not very technically inclined and a lot of other things. And so I had the great fortune of being able to be connected within the Shine Circle with Debbie and Jenny, and got to be connected with the rest of the beautiful people here in order to really come full circle into taking a big, huge jump forward into really being able to share my gifts and do it from a place of knowing that I'm supported, as I really deeply wish to also bring people together to be connected with themselves and with each other.
That's awesome. And we're so glad too and fortunate that we're connected. I remember meeting you in 2020 in that same group, and then going on this journey, and what an awesome journey it is. So yes, so Shannon has a lot more to share, and that's something we'll get into as well later. But Noami, I'd love to introduce you as well. You're our grounded fire mentor, and I mean there's a lot that goes into that title with your connection to nature and your entire story too. But why don't you share with us, what was that moment, or one of the moments that you realized you didn't want to do it alone, and how did that all shift?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Honestly, it was a pivotal moment when I found myself isolated in the redwoods in my new camper van with my dog, feeling guilty and ashamed because after my first book was published, I burned out and my entire world was disrupted. I went through a separation, loss of friendships and community. And it was my 40th birthday. And there I was, just standing at the crossroads of my life, looking at the pieces of my world that I worked so hard to build, just shattered. And I was alone. And it was daunting. But it was also the most powerful catalyst to my transformation that followed, because after that, I decided I will never, ever allow myself to be burnt out like this again. I will never pour from an empty cup, that I am deserving of a soft life. I am deserving of to make impact and to care deeply without burning out, without overextending myself. Because the world runs smoother when women are burnt out and easy to control. And that was such a pivotal moment in recognizing that
Yeah.
my presence is my power, and that I want to help other women really realize this, that this is a power. Gentleness is a power. Softness is a power. And in the weeks and the years that followed, I made it a commitment to seek out the right spaces, the right community, and the right women to walk alongside. Women who have walked the path, women who are on their journeys. And that's been my dedication ever since. And that's what led me to Debbie and Jenny and to meet all the wonderful women in this room. So, yeah.
We're so grateful too and fortunate. And I love what you said. And you're getting a lot of messages as well about, people that can relate. And when you talked about presence being power, and that whole enough is enough moment, and who else can feel that? If you that's been you can say, this has been my enough is enough. And I know I want something different, and I know I don't want to do it. And so that's exactly what we're sharing here. So congratulations. There's so much more to Noami. Yes, Therese, I love that gentleness is a power. Absolutely. Because we're so used to that hustle and push. And here's Noami that's ready to share and walk you through how soft power is actually even more powerful. So that's so cool. Thank you. So we also have Nicole. I mean, I think you've seen Nicole on some of Debbie's panels as well, and we've been in different communities. Nicole holds the title. One of her many gifts is an embodiment and identity mentor, and it's all about bringing the inner diamond, or unleashing that inner diamond inside you to shine. So Nicole, how about you? Why don't you share your enough is enough moment?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you for I'm so excited to be here with everybody. It's so, this panel just lights me up. So thank you. And I can relate so much to what Shannon was saying and what Noami was saying, because I can feel like those moments where enough is enough came from something that was really challenging in our lives, something that, we've all gone through that moment where it was something that we never thought was going to happen. And I had that moment back in 2015 when I had been a stay-at-home mom and almost overnight became a single mom. And I remember this being a moment of fear and a moment of like, how am I ever going to do this? How do I start over again? How do I find a career? How do I, take care of my children, a house now? Like all these things that because I was formerly in it, or I was with the team before, right? I was in a team and no longer a team. And so I started off doing a lot on my own by myself, because I had that belief that I had to. I had a belief that I had to prove myself. I had to show that I could do this. I could come back. But then, just like Noami was saying, I started to really burn out and get really tired. And I started to think about, like, who could I partner with, who could I bring into my life to make my life better? And that's when I started joining coaching groups. And the second I started to join these coaching groups, my whole life changed, because I realized I wasn't alone anymore. There was a lot of people feeling the same way. I realized that I had this power inside of me that I didn't even know it was there. And I had a group of people that remind me every single day that I actually mattered. And I think it was really important for me is that it was to surround myself with the language, with the people that had dreams, people that wanted to do more, because I was scared to do more. I was scared about those dreams. But when I had other people doing it with me, I was like, now I can do this. Yeah. They believe in me, and I'm going to believe in me, and I'm going to be able to do this. So for me, that moment when I was by myself and doing the things came down to burnout, but then it came to a place where we are so much better together than on our own. So that was my moments. I've had a few moments, but that was one of them.
I'm sure we've all had. Thank you, Nicole. I'm sure all of us have had, like, okay, what was the moment I decided? But I'm glad we're highlighting, one for each of us. And I love when you said, like, I went and sought out who, because sometimes it's not about what else I need to do, but who are the people I need to surround myself with to help pull me through. And and we have kids. Some people that are listening, we have kids. I often tell them sometimes it's okay that you don't know everything in that room, and you want to be in a room where other people can teach you and lift you up, and you get so much better. And I know, well, Naomi's in a mastermind right now, or a date with destiny, I believe. But so that's another powerful room. Dr. Staci, let's give the floor to you. In terms of the question was, when did you know that, or when did you decide that you didn't want to do this alone anymore, and how did that shift? And before you get into it, I think, Dr. Staci, your title here is the Sacred System Strategist, because you do help people build intelligent systems that honor our humanity without us losing our soul in it. So I'd love to hear more from you, Dr. Staci.
Sure. Yeah. I'm always known I was not designed to do it by myself. I came in this world by myself. I'm an only child. And I have always sought out a collective, a team, whether it's cheerleading, softball, the something. I've always been part of a collective. And when I moved into entrepreneurship, I was lost as sauce. Yeah. So let's go to 2020, getting on Clubhouse, finding out more about human design, finding out about gene keys, already loved astrology, just, all of the things, right? But I'm the systems girl, I'm the tech girl, I'm the strategy girl. And at the beginning of this year, I came to a crossroad of, I'm now a caregiver and have been for almost 3 years. And then I have my own businesses. And then I had a major retainer client. And I started to say, where are my people? I've known Debbie for a very long time and watched her. And we started to go in and out of some of the same rooms, but she was just on the front and I was on the back. And started having conversations with her. And we had more of them about this sacred side that I had not really exposed to the public. And I decided in July, I said, I'm going to start with the content, and I'm going to go on LinkedIn. I'm going to do 90 days hard of this content, and my people are going to come to me and did all the things that I thought I did right. But part of my whole thing was, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. It's out of alignment. So in October, I said, I'm not posting. I post when I want to post. I'm going to post what I want to post. And at that time, the other attractions started to happen and more conversations with Debbie. And I just, then I started to look, I got to get in there. I have to be part of this because it feels good. I see it from the outside all the time and I watch and I go, but how do I get in the room? That's where I want to be. And so I had to do my test on the outside, but yes. And so November, started really putting forward to learn the framework, learn the processes, watch the content, and become part of. And it just started to make me feel more whole, which means I show up better for my clients. And that's what happened. So, yes.
That's awesome. Well, and I had to mute because my dog started, chiming in, and she does that when she's resonating with everything. So thank you for that, Dr. Staci. And I know I feel pretty much, I resonate with you as well, because we're kind of middle back end people. And that's how I've always seen myself. Not to downplay, the gifts that we have, but that is the zone of genius. And the other thing I did want to talk about, which I believe is a theme across everybody's responses, and thank you, everybody saying thank you for sharing so vulnerably, is the piece about intentionality. I believe once everybody in the room said, I'm not doing this alone, and declared it, purposefully you were starting to look for where would I go, what would I do, what would I take out of my life, And that has, made the difference as well. So Debbie, I don't want to keep the stage all to myself, but you go ahead.
No, I'm fascinated with all of these answers and these women. So everybody, you can see why these are, number one, Shine mentors, but also in their own businesses, mentors, guide, coaches, and speakers. Like every one of them has such passion and purpose in their message, and we've only just begun. So I'm going to go through a set of questions here that's specifically going to be different for each coach. And I'm just going to start with you, Shannon. And so the question is, for your audience, your woman, what is the first internal shift she must have in order to allow herself to receive the support or see herself in a new light?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
What is that first initial shift that she must have in order to receive the support or see herself in a new light?
Yes, thank you. So the very first thing is awareness. Awareness that there's a disconnection and a desire to change that. Because if there's no awareness, then you don't realize that you need to make a change. And awareness that you're feeling alone and that you're feeling disconnected and that you really want to live your best life and really reconnect and rediscover what lights you up, what makes you happy, what do you even like to do. And so those are some of the first realizations that the woman that I would love to support would need to have in order to come into my world and for me to be able to support them. That would be really the main first thing. Yes.
Yeah. No, so beautiful. It really does start with awareness. We can't make a decision or make a change if we're not aware that something's out of alignment or missing in our lives. And I think that this is often something that I see in women, myself included, is that we can kind of put our head in the sand and ignore what our body or our soul is trying to speak to us. I see a lot of head nods happening. So if this is relatable to you in the audience, please let us know what's resonating, because this is that enough is enough, or that I'm no longer going to pretend this is okay, is really that declaration and that first step. Awareness first. Shannon, so beautiful. Thank you for that. Noami, I have gotten to know you over the last few months, and I am in awe at not only your background and your life and what you've gone through and the decisions you made, but also the vulnerability in which you now share this stage of life with your people. And so again, I always say that I have to say thank you for people for truly showing up and shining their unique light, because I know that there's so many people praying for you. I've witnessed that. I've been in rooms just this week that I'm like, Noami's your girl. You need to meet her. Yeah. So here's your question. What shifts in a woman, in her energy and her body, when she actually allows herself to feel supported?
Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah. So is the question to depth, or just so you guys, or am I covering a mic when I'm speaking? I just don't know if I'm not speaking loud enough.
I think I didn't catch the
Hey.
Yeah.
Shift. Okay. So what you're really into that grounded softness.
Right.
What needs to shift in a woman's body in order for her to receive that support that she's begging for?
Oh man, that's such a good question. And before I jump into it, I just want to say thank you to all the people in the comments. The comments are amazing. It's so nice to be in this space. For me, I think we have to decide that we're deserving. And I mean, I'm speaking from a place of experience here. Like, it took me it was just such a challenging journey for me to rewire those limiting beliefs that I am deserving of a softer life, that I am deserving of the right community, that I am deserving of love, and I'm deserving to be served and to serve, and that I have what it takes to create that life if I only believe that I have the power to choose. Because I think so many times we give away our power We think that our power is somewhere out there where we are seeking this external validation, but we have to believe within us that we have the ability to make that change if we only believe that we deserve it. And for me, it was a journey because I went through this on my own in isolation, and it took longer than it needed to take. And the best decision I ever made was investing in my journey, investing in the right coaches, investing in getting into the right rooms with the right people, and checking in with my surroundings. Like, who am I surrounded by? Are they pouring into me or are they draining me? And that right there is, I think, one of the most important steps, because who we're listening to is who we're going to become.
Boom, mic drop moments all day long already. Oh my goodness. Nicole, you have kind of gone through this journey when we really dive into your story, and probably every woman can relate to this identical moment in time. But Nicole, as the embodiment and identity mentor here, what do you know is necessary to embody before we can really connect back to that identity of who we're becoming? There is a becoming happening with each and every one of us. And can you just help guide us through that transition a bit?
Yeah, I think what's so interesting is when I started to do this work and I started to learn more about myself, like Shannon was saying, the awareness of like where I was and what I was doing. And I would read so many books, and I would listen to every like YouTube video and podcast because I really wanted to learn. I wanted to learn about myself and what was happening. And so I would get all of this knowledge, and it was incredible knowledge. But I couldn't figure out why I still couldn't change. I was like, what is happening? I can hear the messages. I know that consciously, I know I should be doing this, or I could be saying this, but why was I not doing it? And I think it all came down to the action I was not taking. I was not necessarily living what I was actually reading or listening to. I was taking it in, and it all made so much sense. But until I started to actually live it and like use my voice in a way I needed to use my voice, or make the calls that I needed to make the calls, or wear the clothes that I wanted to wear, or whatever it was, until I started to do that, those beliefs kind of just sat there kind of dormant. And then once I actually stepped into that and started to be the person, those beliefs became real. Like the ones where I said, I believe in myself, I can use my voice, I can make the decisions I need to make, I can create the abundance I want to create. And those didn't become real until I actually started to do the things I needed to do. And it had to be a combination of it all, right? And I needed the safety to do it. I needed little baby steps to do it. I didn't jump right in and do the hardest things. I took little baby steps, but I had people by my side. And I've had people like Debbie and Jenny and many incredible mentors by my side, walking shoulder to shoulder with me, because it's scary as can be when you first start doing this work. Right, shoulder to shoulder with me, saying, let's go, let's do it together. You're not alone. Let's start believing what we're talking about. Let's start doing it and being the person that you can be. That's the thing all the time. These women that come to me, they know in their heart who they are and what they would love, but they're just so scared to take the action to be it. And when we do it together and we embody it, everything in your world changes, because it becomes who you are. You don't just believe it, it is who you are. You know it.
So good. Thank you, Nicole. Oh my goodness. Again, if you guys are not catching that each one of these belong on a stage in your community, please reach out to these women. They're amazing. Dr. Staci, now you are that person that really helps people bring it all together. The systems, the strategy, the humanize. We don't want to lose the human connection. For you, that question is, what's possible when that woman that just went through that transition with all of these amazing coaches now gets to a place where she stops holding everything in her head and starts actually putting it into a scalable system?
Sure. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to have to point back to the actual Shine Circle. You've gone through the processes. So if you've done these things that these ladies have talked about, then you've gone through Shine. You went through the self-discovery and the self-awareness and the self-love. You understood that, right? That was that first part, that S. And then you had to heal, which may have had to be a pause some point in the process. You may have had to stop, right? Because there was chaos before that. And you realized with that self-awareness and self-discovery that something needed to change. Now you have the opportunity to heal a little bit before you move forward. And then you get back to and align yourself with your own intuition. A lot of what I do and why I became so attracted to this is my work is saying you want to scale your business, but you've done everything, right? Like I said about those 90 days, you did everything you thought right according to the system, but it's still not going right because you're out of alignment. You're not doing what feels good inside of you. You're not showing up the way you want to every single day. You're showing up the way you think other people expect you to. And when you move back to that I, put that I in it, you're in the middle of Shine and go with your own intuition. Then when you get nourished with the end, when you get nourished in the position of where you want to be. So you throw the fire, the gas, the fire on that, and then that's where the explosion happens because it's on something that's right, not something that's wrong, not something that's broken, because you fixed it. And now you can evolve and you come out of it empowered, and you will never look back. You will never be the same way you were before ever again, because you've gone through that Shine process, and especially if you've gone through it with these women. And I feel the fire from Noami. I feel the love out of Shannon. Nicole, that embodiment, that's that I where you're taking that back and being ready. You're in alignment with Jenny, and then Debbie's going to just empower you to be who you are and allow you to be the best be you can be, not somebody else's be. Operator out.
Oh my goodness. That's what it looks like to have leadership. This mic drop moment that each one of you gave, but we can go deep into each one of these conversations, and looking at the chat, people want to know more. They want to go deeper. But I want to point out to you guys, if you didn't know this, Dr. Staci is brand new to the mentorship program. She came in as a guest mentor, 2 weeks ago? She's been watching, she's been looking, she's been studying. She wanted to make sure this was in alignment with her voice, her tone, her mentorship style. And this is what I'm doing on the back end of what I do. I'm looking at you, I'm watching you. Are you truly using the Shine framework? Hey, we all get to the place that our healing needs to resurface, probably on a daily basis for me. And I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but I have a framework that I go, this is just part of the journey. This is part of the evolution. And that's why I've built it. So definitely bring in the fire. I love these comments. Thank you for that. I have one more question for the group before I hand it back to Jenny. And that question for the group is, and we play this a lot in Leadership Momentum Accelerator, a program that Jenny and I do together. But I just put 100 of your absolutely most perfect women, most perfect. Like if they were your only people you served, your life would be fulfilled and you would just be lit up and energized all day long. And so we'll go in the same order that we did when Jenny asked the question, but what would you want her to declare? She's your ideal client. You know what's possible for her. You know that you can get her across the finish line, but what does she need to declare so that you can do your job? What's that first step? I believe it was Shannon first.
Yes, I'm feeling it deeply. I feel so strongly that the thing that I would most want women to be able to declare that are aligned with me is the reconnection to themselves and the recognition that the greatest love within each one of us or with the greatest love for each one of us lives within each one of us. So our greatest love lives within us first. When we can connect deeply to our own love within us, we can connect more deeply and more openly and more beautifully with everyone around us. So all of our relationships, I have discovered firsthand, really are magnetizing and amplified and expanded when we connect with ourselves and with the greatest love within us first. So that is the thing that I would most love for the women that I would serve to be able to declare, because from there, there's so much more we can do about mindset and beliefs and all kinds of beautiful things and what would love and dating yourself, all kinds of things that I'm super excited about. But the first and the most important foundation is that the greatest love for each one of us lives within each one of us.
Wow, so beautiful. This is really the heart of what we have the privilege of doing, is really pulling out that belief statement. You know, there's so many ways in branding and marketing and leadership that we can use different tones to it. But did you guys just witness her close her eyes and tap into her audience? Did you guys witness that she tapped into her truth and her audience's truth and made that connection? I witnessed it. I felt it. I hope that each one of you guys did too. So I believe that it is Noami next. Do you want me to repeat the question, or are you good?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So Jenny put it in the chat, but let me just do it. We have just put 100 of your perfect women in a room for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you can take them. You know your ability to move and transform. But what do you need?
Yeah. Okay. Hello.
Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a touch.
Oh, goodness. Sorry about that, Noami. I'm really making it hard on you. So again, you have 100 of your perfect people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know that if you can speak to them, that you can create a solution for them. You can transform them.
Mm-hmm.
But they first must declare something so that you can do your job. What is that thing you need them to declare?
Oh, I love it. I want her to declare her commitment to living authentically, to embracing the power of a softer life where she chooses to prioritize her well-being and align her actions with her core values. Like, I want her to declare that I am ready to embrace my authentic self, to live intentionally. I choose to surround myself with other people and other women who uplift me and inspire me, that I am committed to transforming my life challenges into opportunities for growth, that I am done doing this alone, that I am ready to rise and create a community where we can all rise together. And I am reclaiming my soft power and living life on my terms, that I am ready to learn and grow and evolve alongside like-minded women. That is what I want her to declare.
Wow. And when she does, wowzers, I have witnessed the impact that you can create with that. So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicole, what about you?
Yeah, I've been thinking. So when you think about the women in that room and what I would love for each one to be able to declare is that they're allowed to want more. They're allowed to actually want it. It's not selfish. It is not selfish to want more for yourself, to be able to live a full life, not just a half life, but a full life. And I think sometimes we, as many women that I've worked with, are such incredible nurturers, people who love so hard and give so much that they often forget that they are allowed to love themselves that hard and to really go after the life that they would love. Because when they declare that it's okay to want more and to go after that. It's not just about them anymore. It's the example they're setting for their kids, for the people around them, because then everybody says, I can do that too. And I feel like that is one of the things I just want people to say, invest in you, because your best investment you could ever make is you, because it's not just about you. It's the ripple effect of what it does for so many. So that comes from my heart. You are worth it. You are worth it. And you're allowed to want more. You're allowed to want more.
Wow. So beautiful. Again, if anybody can relate to this, we love to hear your comments, because it's actually that next declaration for you. When you speak this out loud, you're declaring it for yourself as truth. So please continue to do that. Dr. Staci, what about you?
Ooh, a couple of things that they need to declare. The first is in alignment with the other women, in that you must declare that you will be the leader of your own life. The leader of your own life. You will put you first. You will take your 10% to give to yourself, whether it be money, energy, time. You pay yourself first. You must be willing to declare that you shall release that which no longer belongs in your life, so that you can receive that which is meant for you and has already been allocated and dedicated. It is us that are holding ourselves back. And it is, I say, when we talk about belief, people know me to rent belief to women until they can own it themselves. I don't need you to believe yet. I don't need you to believe, but I need you to dream. I need you to dream. So many women stop dreaming. When we were little girls, we dreamed about being this. We dreamed of living here. We dreamed of going there. And at a certain point in our life, we put everybody else and all of the other titles in front of who we are to ourselves. And you must be willing to release that and reclaim your own self before you can work with me. Because if you don't believe that you're worth it, I can believe it, but you won't own it. And I need you to own it. I am the voice for those that don't have one until they have the wisdom to know that they do. So I will speak for you. I will help you speak for yourself, but I need you to be the leader of your own life.
Boom. If we take away one of these messages that these amazing leaders, this power panel has created here today, just take one message and take it as your own, your truth, your life will shift. And there's so much more. So, Jenny, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you, Debbie. I was looking, and thank you, everybody. I was looking at the comments, following along. I was writing all my notes. And Debbie, I think one of the things that, you and I work so well together, where I come in at the end and I help kind of synthesize, right? And so for everybody that's listening and everybody here, one of the things we want to make sure you come out of is being able to declare. And from our panelists, Shannon had shared about awareness, right? Making sure that you're aware of your disconnection and where you want to be connected. I do it in a framework of, alliteration. So I was able to come up with that. With Noami, it was the ability to receive. And then, of course, with Nicole, it was about activating and declaring who you'd love to be and start actually doing it. And with Dr. Staci, I loved everything that you said at the end, especially if it aligned as well with your life and what you would love to have. And so for everybody on the panel as well, and for everyone here that's listening, we want to take some aligned action to put this into not just something that we're listening to. Like Nicole was saying, we know more than we actually are and what we do. And so what is one aligned action that you're willing to take from today? So Shannon, we'll start with you.
So the aligned action as from today, and being inspired by all of these beautiful women that we have here today is really just owning that I am the leader of my life. I love, love, love that. Being willing to receive and to really envision and dream and become that woman who I wish to be. And these are things that I've learned, but I forget. So I have to remember them sometimes on a daily basis. But there's so much. I loved everything that was shared here, and I would take so many actions, but that would be the main one.
Yeah.
The main ones.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much. Naomi, any aligned action you'd love to share?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. These women, you all are just so brilliant. I'm learning so much, and that's the thing. There's always so much that you can learn. So thank you. For me, I really love what Dr. Staci said about taking your 10% first. That is key. It's something that I have never done in my life, and it's something that I'm starting to integrate more and more. And I think it's so important. And Nicole said it as well, like be selfish. Be selfish and put time away for yourself. Take the time for yourself, connect with the right people. And I think doing an audit of who you're surrounded by. So that's something that I continuously do, and something that I will continue to do after today, is just making sure that I take audit of the people that are around me and setting my intentions every day. Yeah, I think those are the big things. Being open to receiving as well is key. And I think, I can speak for myself. It's something that I'm always working on. It's like I can receive. I should receive. I'm pouring so much into everyone else, and it's so important to remember that every day it's okay to receive.
And I love too what you've presents that, as women, we also hold so much all the time for everybody, for ourselves. And so that self-care is not necessarily selfish. And wanting more is not necessarily selfish as well. So Nicole, any wise words for us in terms of aligned action that you'll take from today?
Oh, I mean, just being in this room, first of all, I already feel so empowered. I just am like, oh, I want to take a little bit of everyone and carry it with me. Because this is the thing. This is what does this, right? It's being in these rooms is really important. I think building relationships are so important. Those deep relationships help you really step into who you want to be and need to be. And so I feel that one of the things I will continue to do is to be in these rooms, to be in here so that I can surround myself with incredible people. I love what Dr. Staci said about the CEO, because I say that all the time. I'm the CEO of my life. And if I am the CEO of my life, then I've got to make choices that align with the life that I would actually love daily. And I have to remind myself that daily, because there's days that I don't wake up always bright and shiny, right? There's days where it doesn't always, not everything aligns. But if I come back to the life I love and knowing that I am the CEO, then I got to keep making those choices. And I think Naomi talked about those choices, right? We have the option to choose every day. And every day, if you even just did one thing that kept bringing you closer to what you would love to be, just one little thing, you're on your way. You are always on your way. So that's what I would love to share today, and what I would love to stay aligned with for me.
Awesome. Yes. And Dr. Staci, I know you have more to share with us as well. Thank you, Nicole.
I think I just love what Nicole said, and this is something that I forget and have to remind myself about, that 1% better every day. It isn't a whole lot. It's just taking a moment out of, back to that freaking pause, taking a moment out and say, what could I do differently? Just one decision today than I did yesterday. In creating that habit, building that muscle so that it is you and not just the thought, and you're being, strategic about the action. I'm going to say the one thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to show up next week. I'm going to be here on the 9th and 10th. You heard, and I can feel just from the ladies that are here today and the different ways that we pour in, you should be feeling it in your heart You should be feeling it in your head. You should be feeling it in your body, and you should be feeling it around you. The community, the network, the BEWN is like the large group of people, right? You go to a festival and everybody's walking around. That's the large group. You want it to be in the environment. And then the Shine Circle is getting to the inside. It's that concert, and not everybody can get inside the gate of the concert, right? You've got those people. And then you are a Shine partner. That means that you're up front on the stage. You get to see it close. You have reserved seats, and you're the ones that say to everybody else how wonderful it was. You get interviewed by the TV channels and people for podcasts to say, how was the concert? And then you become a mentor, and you get to be on the stage. You're on the stage, and you know that everything that you say and you do is going to impact not only the people there in the audience, but the people that are at the festival and the people that are watching and get to hear about it afterwards. You've got to be in the room next week on the 9th and the 10th to get more of this. If there's any part of you that has a crack in it and needs to be filled, you need to show up. If there's anything you're saying, I wish I could do, you need to show up so that you can get empowered to make that move, make that first step, because that's all it's going to take. Nicole just said, just move forward just a little bit. We got you. You want to show up because you want to hear the different areas you've heard about, where we've come from, the different things that broke us, and to hear more about that caused us to say, when I put this back together, I'm not going to stand here and do it by myself. There's other people that know better than me about certain components of this. I have to watch Shannon and slow down, because you can hear how I am. I'm fast. I'm in your face. I'm a type A. But I have that sacred component inside that I need to be reminded. I need to be reminded to embody it all the time, and to look and evaluate myself, as Nicole is saying, in the softer side is something I've been seeking. I've been saying I have been that person that has done it in marriages, and you'll hear stories about that eventually, I'm sure, about where I was still the one to take care of the tech, or to take the car to get the tires changed and all of that. I'm done with that, other than having to do it for, as a caregiver. But I deserve to receive that. I deserve that. I need Noami to be around me to remind me that I can be soft, just like I can be forceful, because I can just be as forceful with my softness and my reservedness as I can on the other side. You'll receive the storm next week. So all I'm asking you to do, if you do nothing else that I asked you to do today, declare that you'll show up next Tuesday and Wednesday and get what is being put out there to be yours. Be open and willing to receive. That's it.
That's how do you follow that? Amen. I just say amen.
Yeah. And so again, as we close this out, and thank you for being with us for the whole time, Dr. Staci is hosting. She is going to be our MC next week. So if you want to be activated, which is what we're doing in the Rise and Shine, we've declared it. Now let's do it. Let's take those aligned actions. Let's get closer to our truth. Let's really lean in to what's possible. And let's really end this year in that certainty that I'm done doing it alone. I have the right people in place, and everything that we're doing is for free. So why wouldn't you? Why would you not come? Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you to my speakers. Oh my goodness, you guys nailed it. Absolutely fabulous.